transfer headquarters yatena se de opesa wotie details ewom ni nyina no yede ni nyina eba ken mama sha asem fam free story a trendy player da wachi Alexander Isak ne story no na me mfa sha ase because mo se nkofo interest wo ho pa enra me be catch say the CEO of football Edema Liverpool bobuku no Michael Edwards ekoshia Newcastle from penyimfo no ana after the meeting Michael Edwards communicated chair Universal 22 for ne say afedie say no nkomo na ni meeting na course no positive a bibia ekoye Edema team e friend say Liverpool na Newcastle for aka trom say omo for omo bid no enfambra na Liverpool for ko prepare omo bid no bid a Liverpool for ko prepare ni nyina no na Newcastle for say omo de offer na ebe so mani ni beba Newcastle for pay 150 million pounds ana na omo expect na Liverpool for the omo first official bid ne call ye no the first report by ni say na bid ni 120 million pounds ana omo de call ye with add-ons but chire no ana confirmation about say a guarantee fee no 110 million pounds ana Liverpool for the call ye ana add-ons ni 10 and two ka add-ons ana guarantee fee ni boma 120 million pounds Newcastle for ko bie mu no omo share offer no mubufu ye say omo no 120 million pounds ne de enso mani enti omo bufu pa na omo ka tell Liverpool for ne say only two things omo Liverpool for ni two conditions ade ebe ma omo ton Isak ade ma Liverpool no de edi kan so ombenya replacement for Isak replacement no only Watkins and a Wisa omo enya replacement ebe den ade ma Newcastle for so beton Isak because as it stands now omo number 9 aka Isak omo ton na ebe den so betimenya bi enti ombe hia replacement the second condition say omo pay 150 million pounds and the free Liverpool team ni wo enti after Liverpool for present omo first official bid no Newcastle for ama Liverpool for two conditions ye here replacements 150 million pounds and makache Liverpool for already na Newcastle for so ede bid akwa koma Universal 22 for ne say on pesa branch say Isak etina na tena no betina no new offer no de man no obenya release clause ewom to 2026 na ne salary no oje wo Newcastle no currently Isak eje 120,000 pounds a week na obema ni new offer de na eko 200,000 pounds a week so the new offer na Newcastle for the man Isak no move no eji na free 120,000 pounds a week to 200,000 pounds a week na Isak abeye the highest paid player ewo Newcastle bobuku nim ana Newcastle for mpanyimfo ema the senior players ewo Newcastle Fabian Schär Dan ana Bruno Guimaraes sa players miensa we esane Isak communicate the reason why I was on Newcastle bobuku nim after say Fabian Schär Dan Bruno Guimaraes any abrante fence Isak kasaye Newcastle for offer the new offer 200,000 pounds a week no Isak akachro mo say na dwen no on se sana dwen wa making in mind the way Liverpool team no ana opese okọ me no ka say Michael Edwards a oye CEO of football Edema Liverpool Asia Fenway Group no Michael Edwards any Fenway Group kwa akohia Liverpool for prepare on second bid a omo de beko Liverpool for second bid no ken mete report bi say ebeye 140 million pounds and Liverpool ebeye on second bid na 140 million pounds no emu 80 million pounds upfront come between the animu ya no 80 million pounds na nyame aduma next year o metua 50 million pounds na add-ons 10 abeka ho na ye 140 million pounds enti Liverpool omo CEO of football Michael Edwards ekosia Fenway for no omo be prepare another bid second bid no ebeko 140 million pounds 80 million pounds upfront 50 million pounds next year na add-ons 10 abeka ho Liverpool for so omo ogidie say on by August 16th on betimenya Isak Liverpool for say by August 16th on betimenya Isak Newcastle for Ken only by the country omo pay 150 no on person omo fa visa ana Oli Watkins ebom 150 million pounds no on person mo de fa visa ana brante e fe ne se Oli Watkins enti Liverpool Isak ana eye Newcastle komo no de wo mu nyina na me de ama no ma me nko Arsenal transfer committee no atena ase ye meeting kakra na Arsenal wo so mo tonton players ni bi players na Arsenal ebe tonton no Trossard Gabriel Martinelli omu nyina no omu ti keka ewo Arsenal bobokuo nim na eno na nhwehwemu abeto dwa se yese Mikel Arteta between Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli no se Liverpool transfer committee ne yes omu ton ba ko a ono Arteta no opese Gabriel Martinelli ni momotina so mo ton Trossard ne mpokra na hani bebre by Gabriel Martinelli no yese Arteta empesa Arsenal transfer committee ne beton no enti sa two players Gabriel Martinelli Trossard sa two players no se ba ko betina dia Arteta etusu Gabriel Martinelli se onu mum entina Manchester United de call Brighton se omo kope midfielder na Brighton na Manchester United call ye no omo call se omo kope Carlos Baleba ana Manchester United for call Brighton na omo ye omo so omo kope Carlos Baleba no on se Brighton for equal sign no 27 million euros ana add-ons 3 million e wo Lille ana omo de share contract nim se dache so omo Brighton for ton Carlos Baleba Leo for benya ASL on clause 15% after so make you 27 million euros no. Now the timer Chelsea ebe fa Caicedo no. And the more for Carlos Baleba be any replacement. Manchester United cause so mo pe Carlos Baleba. And a Brighton for see any problem o. Ye dey tonton. More 100 million pounds among fan be for Carlos Baleba. And Brighton abo Manchester United 100 million pounds for Carlos Baleba.
Baleba 100 million.
100 million pounds.
Ade.
And some of them say to 15% that's how they are malleable for. And omo ton players say for so we writing for.
So omo 100. And
Manchester United say we dey damase 100 mon from adie. Manchester United actually omo ho e dey free Carlos Baleba 100 million no. Na Manchester waye Fenerbahce ni Rodrigo. Ma me ma odi chimpa. Un say na me be ye Fenerbahce. Jose Mourinho pe Brahim Diaz and David Alaba. Na Rodrigo die no ken Fenerbahce in fa official bidding call Real Madrid. Fenerbahce any Rodrigo for Nkasai. Na de tie ne yese. On say Roberto Carlos. Oye Real Madrid for legend. Ana o free Real Madrid no. Roberto Carlos eko ball Fenerbahce boboku no. Ana currently oko Real Madrid boboku no ma. Roberto Carlos director of institutional relationship. On the Edema Real Madrid. Enti no ana Fenerbahce for na contact Roberto Carlos. Se oni Rodrigo ni Real Madrid for nkasa na no mpokra no no Fenerbahce for no mu peni loan enti Fenerbahce for ni mum contact Roberto Carlos a se oye ambassador edema Real Madrid bobuku no ana mo se omo try na omo ni Real Madrid for nkasa na omo ni Rodrigo nkasa already Roberto Carlos so ye Brazil ni enti Fenerbahce for dia fa Roberto Carlos so say omo pe Rodrigo loan enye permanent deal loan ana omo pe enti Fenerbahce for fa contract en koma Real Madrid omunko hu Rodrigo ba omu de esi Roberto Carlos so say on Real Madrid ana Rodrigo nkasa so betima bebo loan e de ama Jose Mourinho Liverpool for ya ate asemde na asemda Liverpool for tin nyina no eye Konate ken yesi abrante na adwen ya asesa ho unse Konate mesan yesi after say Liverpool for say share Konate no enkomode akoso ade na Konate pe no asa omo ya reach agreement am yesi abrante na adwen ya asesa eba sa na Real Madrid entimi mfa Konate ayesi Liverpool for ogidie say Konate ebetima ba be renew the contract e de ama team e friend say Liverpool bobuku no na Diego Pablo Simeone ana ye coach edema Atletico Madrid wakwa ko hu club president Enrique Cerezo ana Diego Pablo Simeone aka che ne say osre na signings no ye no aka midfielder ba akope ana Enrique Cerezo ye president edema Atletico Madrid say midfielder be na aka o say aka Casado papa e friend say Diego Pablo Simeone waka che the club president wa Atletico Madrid say signings na wo ye ni nyina no aka midfielder ba akopo hia no mfimfin ho eye Casado no wogidie say Atletico Madrid fo push a ombenya Casado na ye say Diego Pablo Simeone mpokra last season na Barcelona share Atletico Madrid de bia no omobo match ni bia wi a no akotwe Casado na abukugina baabi no ne kasa o fili no On said Diego Simeone at the time I know see a kind of bossa and Yedin Bonibi. No one is a Mark Casado, that type nibi. And to a catcher Atletico Madrid for club president say, Uncle Mark Casado Embra. Now Manchester City for episode almost signed Barcelona player. And sign a transfer in a berry. Almost share with Pau Kubasi, and a bass as your Monton Pau Kubasi. And Omuko Kundi. And a Manchester City di 80 million euros echo Barcelona so Mupe Kundi. And also so Barcelona so Monton. Can only say Manchester City for air prepare 60 million euros for Abrante friend say Fermin Lopez. Manchester City air prepare 60 million euros for Fermin Lopez. James McCarthy person free Manchester City. James McCarthy a free Manchester City a. Man City for decide say the replacement a Barcelona midfielder Fermin Lopez.
Okay.
And to more prepare 60 million euros at the Barcelona. Or ma try so many Barcelona player. Yes, 60 million euros. Say James McCarthy kwa na Manchester City at 60 million euros at the for James McCarthy.
Okay.
Na Ferran Torres aka che ni agent ne say the ekoso Barcelona na ninje. Ase obi embu no obi ama ne credit.
Ferran Torres menele ya adwin. Akweso Oshego super wana.
Oshego super.
Na se lwa cry friend say obeshetu. Nso ewie se la me ya madina na obi e bona.
Aye.
So no so shetu ne bi.
Oshetu.
Ba obi ambo ni din.
Last season na e third highest.
And that's open central for ana on pe media team.
Na omu anka.
Oshego ano no so ma ba jeje ne so ha.
Yes so on tiase say. Ye beton play bia o Barcelona you no Ferran Torres.
Ombo ni din.
But
I think so we prove it. From bench there. Otiminya 2018 goals gina.
Yeah. And no kusia Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick a catch and say or no Ferran Torres no jinidi.
Say Rashford okra would din channel.
I need in cross saying.
Ferran Torres do need.
Yes, indeed, the baba no.
Kwame ana obe kana ho asem.
Maybe the man
saw their famoso.
Ma member board dia kana so ma.
Ye no fasima.
Say in case say ebereche eze. Crystal Palace for no bona nko forma. Arsenal for decide say Newcastle Anthony Gordon. Option.
Okay.
Anthony Gordon. Jiku mebeka na asem enu ade chiro. Say Leo Aston Villa. Villarreal ana Roma. Dia me no kasa se no Sparta Moscow. Eso so e de offer akwa akoma Fenerbahce for Jiku. Sparta Moscow e wo Russia omo de aba. Na me de wo be wie no so no. Anthony a reject Saudi for di na wie ya. Anthony Manchester United Anthony o se Saudi no.
Oso penasa.
Yes se oteta last hour e de Manchester United apostle obegie mu. No mo de na ma Robertis. Na unse no mbeka tro se Spurs for omo center back Christian Romero. Bayern for pesa center back no.
That's what he saying.
The everybody say Christian Romero a free Spurs for decided say Ombeko Barcelona. Ronald Araujo. Na Spurs for a replacing for Christian Romero.
Araujo Wabreu. Baby Wabre papa player just be a ton. Hey. Say Frankie de Jong na Suma Jono. Anderson, bre. De Jong na Suma Jono pa.
The second half of the season.
Just I think every day. Say
you're good to go. Say we ball pass.
Oh, team that there be a bass ton one answer when you
Ronald Arroyo the any day. No question me woman second. A bar quality na enye se form no na atekwa. Pau Kubasi Nigo Martinez was so starting. Nebom, the problem is that Barcelona have a system. Our system, no, it requires some certain skill sets. Ronald Arroyo enibi. Tie, nsusunye womu. You might be very good, but ebia coach bia system bia system no won't fit. It doesn't mean you are a bad player. Because can make pass Jules Konde right back, Alejandro Baldi left back. Inigo Martinez, Pau Kubasi. GDC last season if free or that's back four. Me catch us a team be Eddie be last season, but catch us a team no, they will suffer. Me what? Because to be very honest, we ordinary. But the coach was system no to the extent say system no alpha when they play together, they seem strong, solid. Ronald Arroyo ni attribute power ya there, ni pace. But say young communicate, young ball coordinated defense. Ye baller, young carry ball no fanko. In fact, Barcelona person ye transitioner. Inigo Martinez metinya suma diagonal pass. Pau Kubasi metinya suma diagonal pass. Ronald Arroyo on team nyebi oni sa skill set no. Say ye defending the coordinated back four. Into ye move obi and follow back. Into communication very important. Rona roll on to communicate sir. And it is a let me give you one example. Barcelona, even last year, some mobile board time will be an Inigo Martinez. So Oniwa wants a back for no struggle power. Because Inigo and the lead or more communication. You see, one step, wow, went to be catch us somewhere to. Sadia no Onibi. Sa leadership skill and communicate Onibi. It does not make him a bad player, but system no. He would have to adapt, and yes, our problem. So I think I adapt to society. Or no, about what added advantage because our pace. But sadly, no, until me, Ken, Fermin Lopez, Pesa, hey, Kami, Stella group of four. David Manasseh, and in the group of four. Fermin Lopez, normal linking it to buying, normal linking to the Bassa. Wouldn't pay fair say. So be the 60 million euros. I'm a Bassa Beja Tomboy.
60 million. Fermin Lopez.
He's a French player today. Wait, under Xavi, he was the main guy. Meboa.
Say that's it.
Oh, you're French.
When you be more.
I'm telling you. Say, oh, wait, yes, shut him now. Oh, wait, into danger. Say, obi the sister at all. Sir, oh, say, oh, good agency. Sa Stella Group for the manage Kobe Menu, the manage Kamavinga, Konate, manage Omar Mamous, very, very strong agents. You know, I said, no one person boy didn't peer about see the best thing for Fermin Lopez, to be very honest. So it's not Basa didn't be Katan, so the money more you do, but born a bopadi. One be the development.
Or baby also prove it.
But they say, no, the main super sub, Ferran Torres. Wait, now one day pie.
United bench the Torres. Of
course, they say Torres will prove it.
They say Rashford in the
beginning. And they say Rashford. They still now Ferran Torres na number one. So they say Ferran on the coach and say, oh you're on number 9. They say when you need wings wo, on counting as a winger today. And they say oh no na ye Lewandowski oniwa ye Ferran Torres na eba. And as Obi Ababe can fin from the bench. He say it looks like Rashford the cranny din ya Piache and Fermin Lopez. I could not born na Albono. Last year when develop it. Into someone pay a DB party about this boy. They should let him go. But say sisters is here. Calapota or Beton Oriano Akacha and the flex a concord animal for bra. Barcelona is here. Or Beton. Mean Sanko for no harding. Ken, they're to you. Transfer figures, any fees and wrong. And Pempin is our better say, ya Toby over 100 million pounds. I am not a release clauses. Into you're looking at Ebia Neymar. Oh, why is it 222? Okay, release clause. Anything Amana Kobasa. Joao Felix from Benfica to Atletico Madrid, 128 million euros. It makes sense because a release clause. Enzo Fernandez from Benfica to Chelsea, 121 million euros. It makes sense. But hardly say you're negotiating a conclude on a figure to say Coutinho DNB, to say Kylian Mbappe from Monaco to Paris Saint-Germain, 180 million euros at DNB. And Tensi. Name the very day I Liverpool for agree say Omutua sika kwa kofa flowing vita sika no a dose be which was around 120 million euros no, which is 116 million pounds no. Saturday no Liverpool for the omu kojina corner bia. It was obvious to say Alexander Isak did no mebre. Because we all know say Liverpool overpaid for flowing vita.
Flowing vita did no more overpay.
Oh, Ken. This market
now undeserves 115.
See Richard Hughes. Any Liverpool for guys no more negotiations. They've done well on some of the deals. Milos Kekes, excellent deal. What I said, I think it is okay. But they only overpay for Hugo Ekitike 95 million euros.
Yeah, Ekitike.
They overpaid. Flowing Vits, 160 million pounds over 120 million euros. They overpaid. Inti say, what do you kojina bia? Emma Newcastle for no opportunity to ask for more. Me but what the making as we actually. Because the very phrase they are Liverpool, yes, sir. Your 180 statement say Newcastle for no because Liverpool for say they are ready to pay more than what they paid for Flowing Vit. One to our statement, you know. It is a Liverpool case. We are ready to overpay more than we paid for Flowing Vita. We are Newcastle.
How much you are £120 or more overpay? Say the corner. But I'm not here to come £150 million, close to €170 million. Kokobe $190 million.
£150 million, €170 million.
€170 million.
Yeah.
But which are €95 million for a caretaker?
Now it's 170 for
Isak.
It makes a lot of sense, Anna.
Simon.
Oh no,
because me so say Newcastle for baby omujina no pa no. Ikitiki.
And the Flowing Vit deal. Exactly. So understand them.
Newcastle Liverpool position here.
Sure. She say Liverpool a breaking transfer market, you know, for British on Flowing Vit. Or the one window, or we are breaking sounds who over breaking one window. But I see the arguments that Alexander Isak does.
Maybe pa Jurgen Klopp.
What dear? In some of my back over, as they say,
hey, United are to put banner saying
86, 89
million pounds.
In someone,
I know, but you're 150. Okay.
They say Liverpool they breaking British record. They sound so the fourth floor say about account.
They say Chelsea akoda.
They say Chelsea asumaju. Manchester City asumaju. In someone, ya can't force our clubs we won't pass. They say omu ina asumaju omo. Now Liverpool are paying. You see, me I don't have a problem with clubs decide to pay. You see, we need to understand. Here, make us some chill. You see, in the early 2000s, Class A strikers, and I say A class strikers, Ronaldo, Thierry Henry, Van Nistelrooy, Rahul. I'm not class A for no.
Yeah.
Listen to me. You can't say be a class A striker. Class A striker near striker consistently for about 3 years minimum. Our league nimo who have a top class performance in terms of numbers. In this case, goals plus Champions League performance. In see, before we will term you as a class A striker, you are performing in the league and you are performing in the Champions League. What's the making say? Into the early 2000s, those strikers I mentioned, sometimes not Roy my Kaimu or but they were class B. Me was still time. I mean, former and Ken and they what the Alexander Isak better class A strikers in one.
Sisi Isak me also class, you know.
They didn't know soccer class.
Because of the numbers, the last two seasons, our Premier League. If the Premier League and
it's not a yardstick for class A striker. Alexander Isak about Champions League 6 games
or just 6 games. But and a year cannot because your players be say Giovanni Ebamo. Your strikers be one cry Roof and Destroy more. Because in can they Roof and Destroy can better 200 million.
So see
can they Ronaldo Nazario can better saying.
A class strikers.
A class. But David Ngogo online no say be the
no, but
I can't take any David Ngogo different.
Oh no, but
that maybe so me there some and maybe so. Liverpool supporters are David Ngogo.
No. I can take a perform for Frankfurt.
Na Ngogo dey
no ya after young guy be and who tin.
And you to say any system strikers no system no. Previously an ka bi ankomo ye sensia na bi anes.
They can name one. No, but see, say markets in mono. For instance, I mean, example, Mitchell, Benjamin Sesko. I'm value €95 million and above, according to RB Leipzig for no. Benjamin Sesko, we bought only 6 Champions League games. Champions League, you know, Champions League experience as a striker. He has only 6 games in the Champions League. Here, Benjamin Sesko. 2 years Bundesliga goals. Last year, previous years, no share 14. And the last time you boy, you share 13. Mama Chawade, what can you mean about 27 Bundesliga goals in 2 seasons? 27 Bundesliga goals. And Seu Grashi, time no was to get on say 29. 1 season or the pa Benjamin Sesko, no 2 seasons more.
Seu Grashi will be amphino.
Or African in a way, yes, would be 29 in Africa for the year for 1 year. Seu Grashi, or the 1 season. Okay. Abatano. Now, this Benjamin Sesko Champions League experience, he has almost zilch because group stages they ain't me fan custom. And look, Alexander Isak, he's been performing very well. He should be a class A striker. And a class A striker is not our market. Must say Haaland, Mbappe,
Haaland,
Hurricane, Lewandowski mo.
Any Lewandowski.
On class A for.
Not being here. Jackson was in.
Oh, C.
Jackson was C. Isak was saying
B.
Sesko was in.
Sesko me didn't make C.
B for him for.
Oh, B mefa Julian Alvarez,
yeah.
Exali mefa Isak. Oh, we should market more. Bebre. What I say? Because still, my again, so that you understand, my point is that a class A striker, for minimum of 3 years, you are performing in the league and in the Champions League. And the reason why I am taking Alexander Isak out of this argument is that this boy, he's only played about 6 games in the Champions League.
Only 6 games.
Oh, Bako Obo against time now what Dortmund. And now no group stages. Group stages was just 1 goal. Into only Champions League experience. Biasa. But markets no na quest and Liverpool for a position on in the way. Mediantia mentias and say Liverpool to 95 million euros. Akofa who go Biaba. Yet it looks like their posture is that I said they are too desperate for Alexander Isak. Meanwhile, they paid over 95 million euros for a striker.
But that's
it's the almost position in the transfer markets and I'm a Newcastle for no access for more. Now the question is say 150 million pounds the Newcastle for so mobile. 150 million pounds.
Well,
are Liverpool ready to pay 150 million pounds?
150. Wow. 150 you would do. Okay, biggie, bre, but ABC games, me so and yan draw no 3 letters, and a was screen so Emma your rimfi Obakoswa Dallas star 262 hash star 262 hash or phone so all pick 3 letters from A to Z. 3 from A to Z. Intene 3 letters na boy and your drone is here at the mount. Well, biggie.
I was in Liverpool, so Isak and Kwande was so yes can audit 150 no. Say a drew time be a one. Baby, I would do who be see. Said the obey your own. And then a bemani pen who said, ah, a semesi dear. A boy am a decoy, obey me up here.
Mbuemonukunya is saying.
Can say
Mbuemonukunya, or me saying, Moton is saying.
Mbuemonukunya.
United Motor saying. Baku is 60 something.
Baku is 62, Baku is 75.
Baku is 75, Baku is 62.
Any Bibia,
okay.
And okay, all that was 3. Timer, Manchester United no. El Topo around 89.
What's the would you do there? What do you to the bear 130?
Number 130.
Bro.
Let's say Isak and Kwa plus 2. That's a difference between man.
And then that make us say Liverpool play and then Quadia. Because during the days of Manchester United, it top Popo 89. United bought certain players. Looking at the kind of the top Popo. After Obiane Manchester United, the Bediga, or who say United, you will scout Bobo na Obetia. Shesika Liverpool, the Aqua Fake and then about Bobo Konimo. So I can say a critique performance times 2. Me must say cannot double. Now me from Alexander Isak looking at the performance I can. Me jitum say Isak performance and I was so and the check critique the any baby. That is why I'm saying say we say Liverpool team in Yaska. So pe Isak in Quadia looking at a bona omo so the aqua to a critique there. Isak the on gugumum famao. And number 2, Liverpool me assure say transfer window we on any teamer. Ne ho Newcastle for he pa. I am saying Liverpool win Newcastle for he because Newcastle not the number 1 target was a KTK. Not Newcastle panel. So they wanted to do business. So person would pay player and they are yen them. Never Isak and go for a KTK. You didn't come for Isak. What for a KTK? Yeah, number 1 no. Or fire number 1 new year no. And a Manchester United, yeah, number 2, and so Sesko. United didn't do command and found the Champions League and Newcastle Kwakobo. The player is getting interest in the Manchester United project. Etienne, say United will scar. Sesko and against over Manchester United. Etienne number 2. I need done to say, yeah, first in Impo for the backup. No, or no, so Yama Manchester United a fan. I find our buy and Yahosa who pay sack. It's Uber so boy and now Bray is one other thing.
Oh, okay. Matu asem na se.
Yes.
Na just say na nyese nko mko for eketeke.
Debi
ka Liverpool ja eketeke.
Yes. No kofa Isak no your priority no.
Na Newcastle kofa no. Na
kofa
no. Beji Isak.
Yes.
Ana makofa eketeke.
Kofa eketeke aba.
Ese abeji Isak.
We ya also be fa Isak. De na nka be fa Isak ayo so be kofa no. What trawa ma Manchester United dey afa no.
Okay.
Et Liverpool we Newcastle he chen obi a wiase. So they want to drag the transfer. Na possibly say akoko be de na ekompo a. Ye hu say ya gisika bia esombo ene aton no. And the Liverpool book be a ken obi anya no more. Me boss bi ka asem bi kire be sebi. O se woni ska o kan kwase asem. E na wonya ska so a wodi nkwase asem. Because the one niska no, ade na sikani ni ye no fa ne say ade ya sikani ye de o se ska kwa. Ba se bia wo na nka wonya sa sika na, nka wo be ya abroso. Ken moving on. Team my friend say Tottenham wants to build the attacking machinery. There's a new coach and on person be investment. Ya titi dini bebre. So mo kwa strikers. E di ababa be team no mo. One of the strikers we ya ni di aba bonten e Kolomwani. Kolomwani is a bad player. If you are looking at Kolomwani last season, about half season, Edema Juventus Bobo Kono. About 16 matches, we league mo. 16 matches now, boy, and Oshe 8 goals. And Edema Juventus. And it's a Ujinasa numbers and so. No, I can about Tottenham and you're bad. But if you are looking at Tottenham, say, see, since the exit of player, friend, say Harry Kane, what has been the goal scoring for the strikers or more Tottenham Bobo Kono? Harry Kane ko you know strike ko fan by Dominic Solanke the baby jinem e body ma bobo ko no last season now op Tottenham top striker I will share goals kese and as a player with the most goals for Tottenham na nye Solanke na e ko fan by no e Brent Johnson or share 11 na dem Tottenham Solanke na e ko fan by as the striker I want to replace Harry Kane the Kane or share 9 goals e will league no and dem Tottenham. But the last season, Harry Kane boy, Emma Tottenham and Sana Ophir on joining Bayern Munich, or share 30 goals in the league. Before that season, or share 17. 2 seasons before that, or share 23. If the Harry Kane one striker, what prove it beyond reasonable doubts consistently in English Premier League anymore. It is all Lucy such a striker. Looking at the kind of quality, out of the team, and one of the reasons about Boama team Negina, and as a team the more they want to bet form. Tottenham in team replace player ni ye. And I know ne ka ho and I'm more form no e form no because Harry Kane goals no de be ma no de bia e do be basro e be push you do aba animu time bia Harry Kane be bo season ni be wie bia no not less than 15 Premier League goals or share 17 no or share 23 no or share 30 and the team my friend is at Tottenham it was no quality goals the time bia e pia ma compete for the top 4 spot now we qualify for Champions League any ade it is the Tottenham I na adwen said those kind of performances are no muhu especially when Harry Kane was part of the team no more qualify for Champions League consistently no more nya poor English Premier League ni mo a omo person mo get back to that kind of form omo making sure say sika no mo best spend it on a striker no men disrespect Kolomwani derby but omo pay striker o ye proven because Dominic Solanke e 9 goals at the man as a striker now the obi ba e was so pro bi o ye way better than Dominic Solanke na se Solanke be ye backup any problem but enye obi ti say Kolomwani no so nya proven goal scorer and our kofana ba so na me solve that problem ne ma e be wi ase na wa to striker e no kre but now when timi amama me ye adwuma na we expect e dey free ni hono no it is not a bad player but say per starter Obama more goals than Dominic Solanke there. I feel they should be looking at other players more numbers the consistently and also so I was through Ken Florian Wirtz Ako for the number 7 jersey with Liverpool. And per reports are Ebano. Almost as yes, almost 2 jerseys within 1 hour. Number 42,000 jerseys. Of a player friend is the Florian Wirtz.
It's only from per.
Ken
42,000.
Yes, in 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
Supporters need 2 jerseys no. Who they play na you. But almost 2 jerseys no. You yanka player wa boti ma establish ya jinidin and anka ni jersey sales cost ropa.
Who so bit my sansala
in terms of
jersey sales
jersey sales performance na beche.
Okay.
And enunti na make ho asem no. Looking at the numbers out the free Germany ever from the Bundesliga I was sure Liverpool expect a lot. Obesha see pre-season on the performance na nya bad. What to be in a preseason, no some fan judge player, but at least I was in the preseason. Not born now, your boy, you know. Almost every Liverpool star, Bobby. Now, your boy, you are now man of the match, clearly. What send this signal with the amount supporters? No, I am sure that it is one of the reasons. It's almost for justice because I feel so much.
When to me, I'm one who follow this.
Yes, but there have been German midfielders. By England and Yaman Konkayam Fama. We Michael Ballack in China.
Oh, Ballack.
But see, we need to see China as like on one Famano.
Okay.
And then we may shoot Ozel.
Okay.
And so they are seeing China. We should be players need be and a more huge prospect. There was one young player, Marco Marin, minimum over Kaina.
Yeah.
And a Chelsea Tono. Now I'm friend the German Messi.
Yeah.
Say about ball, pass a ball. He was one of the best in Germany. But I'll make him move or baby play more Chelsea in the English Premier League. I'm fan. Sebastian Schweinsteiger level. Maybe I know about Bobo Drew. I was Germany, Bayern Munich, say a Champions League, say a national team, whatever. But I'll make you move to Manchester United. I'm fan. And your man Konkai.
Vangantia.
At that time, only Mourinho never be shy. And a problem is baby any idea. Because I know no person or bobo. Then you know just say Mourinho person or it's in as much say expectations in the cost looking at the numbers or labor. Any performance I was dying in the first preseason game or boy, you know. Liverpool supporters then limit expectations, you know. Yeah, who Germans are no more Dean Wasro, my Bob Bastian Schweinsteiger. Germans are near tout almost the future of German football.
Marco Marin.
But I'm about England, you know. Timo Werner.
Oh, Timo Werner, Babaj in the Champions League. Come, squad
member.
One squad member.
Timo
Werner, Nima Chelsea.
No, a squad member.
Born now, Chelsea Kwashe.
Chelsea best players don't count.
Timo Werner na. Almost three defenders be brave. Masa Munja. Timo Werner be na flop.
No, a squad member.
In the Champions League, we the Obebo Tottenham then come. So, ono on your flop.
Champions League no mo boajemano. It's no mo boajemano. It's I feel say he's a quality player.
Okay.
But supporters then limit expectations going into the season.
But for Vic, one player ya tona pressure ba ko pekura ni so memoma. If you go take pressure one so chain for Vic. When to me man ho be memoma. Because ball na obo preseason no, the obo bia obi anka hwe. But nkawo player one na was expensive signing. All British football history. Ona kabo be akobi anka etro. Ona kabo ba sa kamado no kwa anka obete. Betesa na de na obi de ne toto Jude. Madrid na wako kudu anka be won say adwuma city. Yetro where you be na yetro.
I say Florida pressure ni so.
Pressure be ni so.
As obi yi ni.
Na no Hugo ebe gina mu. Ba ko fa nchan wu de no mo ye.
Season next start ya.
Pressure ba no so na.
Jokeres could be on so.
People are not talking so much because you preseason.
That be for Vet na say wa fa.
O de ma season then start. Na ball na so boss like ball last season no. Yes so we better change so boss like. Any aba be fa wa ba. Na wan timi am nuru sa standard na say antra. I want to be sa man for her.
Let us say, young friend in Sue, no meaning come see a quick one. Not members, I'm going to lose him. Heba for in come quick one this year. And